Today's video is all about productivity. I'm here with Lauren from The Skinny Confidential.
Hey guys.
We're going to be sharing 5 amazing productivity hacks that will change your life, and we're doing a huge giveaway at the end for $200 worth of beauty products. So make sure to watch this whole video to enter. So I wanted to invite Lauren onto my channel to talk productivity because she's literally the productivity queen. I follow your Instagram, your stories, and like everything's so organized, like your calendar, I'm actually getting better later in life. This is something I've struggled with. I grew up with no chores. My only chore was to study.
That sounds fun though.
It was fun, but it was really difficult later in life because I'm messy. Like I didn't even know how to cook. I had to do everything.
You've had to adjust.
Had to adjust.
I think you've done it well.
Now I'm really getting there and I'm embracing it. I feel like that's when you know you're in your 30s.
That's when you're in your 30s.
You love organization. So today's all about productivity tips. We're just going to go back and forth and share a few things that will make your life easier.
So my first productivity hack is time batching with a time cube. Time batching has changed my life.
I don't know what time batching is. She kind of just told me before this video, but please explain it because I didn't know.
So time batching is when you do one task at once for a long period of time. So a good example would be is on Wednesdays, I take all my conference calls and interviews. So what I noticed is on Mondays, I would have 2 calls, and Tuesdays, I would have 3 calls, and Wednesdays, I would have 5 interviews. And what that was doing was taking me out of my workflow. So I would be trying to get creative or writing a blog post, and then I'd have to stop everything I was doing and get in the mindset of doing a conference call. And it was really, really distracting. So I started scheduling all my conference calls, all my interviews on Wednesday. So Wednesday I wake up, I know I'm gonna be talking all day.
Okay,
so when you know you're gonna be talking all day too, you get in a mindset of like, okay, like we're talking, it's like coffee, it's workout,
it
it's
sounds
everything.
cozy actually. Like I feel like I get in the vibe, and I feel like if you're talking all day, you don't have to necessarily get dressed. You can be in sweats and do all your conference calls or whatever, right?
You can maybe like plan a walk while you're on a conference call. You just know that you're doing that task and you're gonna do it well.
That is so genius.
But you do it because you shoot content, you shoot it, you try to batch the time.
I batch content, but like I definitely will like, I can do a call, like we're gonna be done today at 5. I can do a call at 5:15. But I feel like if I had a full day of calls or a full day, that sounds like a really good idea.
It's so much easier on the brain. And so like Tuesdays is my writing day where I'll write my content. And then, Fridays is my shoot day, or Thursdays is the day that I'll create space in my calendar so I can be creative in whichever way I want to. And that's maybe like a lot of Instagram stories or whatever that is. And it's time to myself and it's silent. And then Mondays I usually leave free because Monday I feel like there's 8 million fires that you already have to put out from over the weekend. So you want to create space on Monday. Like you don't want to do 10 conference calls on a Monday.
Right. Yeah, because it's kind of a harsh way to start the week.
It's a harsh way to start the week.
That's a really good point.
And you can do time batching so many different ways. I'm trying to think of other examples. You could do, if you're going to be a podcaster, you could do 5 interviews in one day.
Right.
Instead of having to do them one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday.
This is like genuinely life-changing for me. Like it's so funny because you can think like some people have it all together. Like I feel like everyone thinks I'm so responsible and on it. I've heard you talk about time batching, never Googled it. I've just procrastinated it. Now that I'm hearing, like I feel like this is going to change my life.
It's life-changing. I'm telling you guys, it's really, really amazing, and your brain's not switching from task to task to task. Mm-hmm. We talked about how I'm obsessed with Ed Milet right now, and he says, if you're not 100% present in the moment that you're in, then you're doing a disservice to yourself and the person that you're with, and you're not being your best. So when you time batch, you're really present because you know you're doing one task and you're going to do it well. And then I use my time cube with that, which is like,
what's that?
It's this cube that I got off Amazon. It's $10. We'll leave the link below. And it's you do the same task for a certain amount of time. So say I'm going to do my to-do list for 10 minutes, and that's it. I'll put my time cube on 10 minutes, and I'll do that for 10 minutes.
It's like a timer.
Yes. Now, everyone's like, why can't I use my phone?
Right.
No. Your phone is so distracting. It's the most distracting thing.
True.
You're going to open up your alarm and then go to Instagram really quick. You don't.
Text or email
the phone,
or
like, away. I even let my phone die.
Well, can I tell you one thing? I noticed with Lauren, like if I text her, I usually expect a response with like a day,
Yeah,
2 days.
to everyone.
But I like that because it's almost like it's like a boundary you've set for people, and then it's learned. I don't expect a response faster. And I've even told Julia, I was like, I need to start doing that so people expect a longer response from me. No
When someone texts you, and this could be your best friend, your dad, whoever, and you respond back right away, you're working off their time.
Very true.
And I don't expect people to work off my time, so why am I working off their time? I turn my notifications off for text. It's the most distracting thing for me. I don't want it to disrupt my day.
Do you have like Michael on like an alert just in case the
No.
You know what? You come first, and that's amazing.
If there's an emergency, like Michael can send like a
call you.
firebomb in the air or something. He's gonna have to figure it out.
Okay, I love that. All right, time batching and time cubes.
Yes.
Okay. My tip that I have, or one tip, this is a little more basic, but lately I've gotten so into organization in a way where it's like individual compartments for everything. And this is another thing I'm like, why haven't I been doing this easier? So, for example, in my kitchen, like I have my drawer with like all my big utensils, whatever. I literally went on Amazon, I'll link this also, and bought these little plastic, they were so inexpensive. They were actually individual separators, so I'd put one for my big spoons, one for all my measuring cups. Then I have one drawer that's all my like disposable silverware and napkins. I literally just put them all in a big Ziploc bag, so they're all there. Having things in a drawer that are in their own compartment is such a game changer. All of my desk cabinets, like there's little mini baskets. My pencils are one thing, like tape measure and tools are another thing. I'm now starting to do it for my clothes. And when you see things, I feel like neat and clean. It puts you in a good mood. You know where everything is. And I'm telling you, I grew up like I never even cleaned my room. It was like I just didn't have responsibility growing up. I just had to study. Persian parents. Literally, it was like go study even if you don't have an exam. So that's all I did. But now I know where everything is, and everything like has its own little place, and it's just been.
That's smart, because what you're actually saving yourself, and we keep talking about this, is time.
Yes.
What everything for me I spend my money on is time. So to have everything efficient where you can grab it when you're running out the door is saving you time of having to look through things.
Which is productivity. Such a good
Totally.
point.
Another tip that I really like is, and sounds basic, but once you do it and you swear by it and it becomes a religion, is Google Calendar. And I even have my driving time in the calendar. So if I have to take an Uber, that takes 20 minutes, that's in my calendar, and my assistant will give it 25 minutes. Now, I did not have an assistant for the first 7 years of blogging, so I did this myself. So this is something anyone can do. It's free to do. It's Google Calendar. I have all my workouts in yellow, all my deadlines in red, all my beauty appointments in pink. My conference calls are in green. So automatically when I open my calendar for the day, I see what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. My brain automatically recognizes the color.
I like the coloring. That's really good.
So important.
It's a good idea.
The coloring is important. And having that driving time, the shower time, I have reading in my calendar. It's important for me to, expand my mind. Reading's in my calendar. Planning my day. Every night before I go to bed, I texted you last night at like 10. I was looking through my day, what's going to happen tomorrow.
So is that in your calendar of like to plan?
Yeah, just 10 minutes of being like, okay, like I'm going to be really intentional about how I spend my time. For the first 8 years of blogging, I said yes to everything. I said yes, 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 yes. And now this year it's turned into, okay, to scale a business, I have to say no.
Right.
So I'm just really methodical and strategic about where I spend time.
I also think that's, it's a good point that for the first 7 or 8 years you did say yes. And I think that in the beginning you should say yes to a lot of things because you've got to get yourself out there. But then as you have bigger projects you're working on, you have to say no to little things. And
yes,
sometimes you feel bad, but you have to just focus on what's going to actually make you grow the most.
Totally.
So I have a tip that's kind of similar to that. It's setting alarms for things I have to do, specifically taking my vitamins or supplements.
Smart.
So I used to do it in the calendar. I actually tried both. I tried calendar and alarms, but the thing about calendar is it pops up on your phone, but then it'll kind of go away. And it's not like, I feel like an alarm is like a bam, like you have to turn it off or you're distracted.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm a pharmacist and forget to take my vitamins. So like if I can't, I feel like other people must have this issue too. And I have certain ones that I have to take twice a day, or like if you have birth control, anything, alarms, and you can label all of your alarms on your phone so it can say, and you can be discreet. I'll be like, take morning tabs or something.
No like it. I'm going to do that. That's a great tip.
It's really good.
Yeah, and in your calendar too, I feel like It's annoying when stuff disrupts your workflow. So like how it pops up. Yes, the alarm disrupts it, but you take the alarm goes off, you take it, and then you move on. With the calendar, it keeps popping up.
And so, and I have so many that pop up that it doesn't register that something's that important, whereas an alarm is like, oh God. Like,
even turning notifications off has been life-changing. I'm not talking about calendar notifications, but no text notifications for me. I don't want, that was just a notification. No, it was a calendar notification. How funny is that? It's no text. No, like it doesn't make a sound when I get an email. When someone calls me, I'm like, are you living in 1980? Like, we can't do that. I decline the calls you. Yeah, like, just text me, like, so, and I won't respond for a day. I'm just kidding. Notifications, though, can disrupt, I feel like, your workflow. And it's hard for us because we work on our phone.
Yes, exactly.
Like 90% of my work is done on the phone. So those notifications disrupting you, think about how many times that happens all the time. Having an alarm, I think, is sufficient for the pills because you take it and then you move on.
I really agree. You know what I think I'm going to do is because everyone, whoever's watching this, that's a friend of mine that texts me, I think I'm going to do like a batch group text that says, from here on out, please only expect messages from me in the evening, and I'm going to start it so that people don't get mad. And then maybe I'll start with even like every night before I go to bed, I'll just respond to text messages, but not even opening them.
Spend 20 minutes a day batching your text messages.
Batching, exactly.
I batch on my to-do list. Literally today says return text messages.
That's so great.
You can't, text messages to me at this point are like email. It's like I can get back to it when I get back to it.
It's because technically when someone used to call you, like if you were busy, you didn't take the call, but now it's like everyone expects a response within 2 seconds. And yes, it takes a second to respond, but it's not just a second. It's a conversation. It's stopping like your train of thought or your workflow. So
especially when you work off your phone.
Yes.
You have to create the boundary. I also like to do this thing called the Ivy Lee method. It wasn't invented by me. It was invented by Charles Schwab. Like a long time ago. And what you do is you write down at the end of the night the top 6 things you need to get done the next day. And then the second that you start your work, you start with the top one and you do not move on to the next task until that is finished. Now, this sounds really easy. Everyone's like, well, 6 things, I can just do my to-do list. No, you have to start at number 1 and you don't move on to number 2 until that's finished. And he was one of the richest men at the time, and he swore by this method.
Really?
He told his whole team to do it. It was like a whole thing, and I think that the Ivy Lee method is like the way to go if you want to be uber productive.
That's a great tip for me because I love to work on a bunch of different things, and I'll be like, wait, but I have to start this. Wait, I'm writing a book, or wait, I gotta get back to this email. Like jump back and forth.
So it's so hard.
Now, if it's like a huge project, like let's say you're writing a book, do you say 2 chapters today or something like that?
Yeah, you would say write the introduction Monday, and Wednesday is write chapter 1, and you don't move on to the next thing. I think people get overwhelmed because they look A to Z. You have to look A to B and B to C, C to D, instead of looking at the whole thing. And it's just like those small steps make all the difference.
That's a great tip. Okay, well, those were some amazing tips. I feel like I'm ready to use a lot of them. I learned a lot from this video myself.
We're gonna be productive.
Definitely. So first of all, where can everyone find you?
At The Skinny Confidential and theskinnyconfidential.com.
That's her Instagram, YouTube, and we also have exciting news in this video. We're also doing a super fun giveaway on this video. We're giving away $200 worth of beauty products from Lauren and myself. We're each picking out like things we love, like some of your favorites, some of my favorites. So all you have to do to enter that is be subscribed to both of our YouTube channels and follow us both on Instagram. We'll pop that up right here. If you do enter, if you followed us both, if you subscribe, comment below this video and write enter so we can see. And we will be checking, so make sure you do follow all the rules. We're super excited to give back to the community. It's our kind of way to say thank you for subscribing to our channels.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.